Hello everyone, welcome to EcoDrive Tech. In today's video, we are going to talk about small modular reactors, or SMRs. This right here might just be the next big hope for nuclear energy. It aims to fix all the issues we've seen with traditional nuclear power, making it cheaper, faster, and easier to build. Smaller, safer, modular units. A real game changer for nuclear in the future. It's called a Small Modular Reactor, or SMR. And over the past few decades, more than 80 startups and projects have been working on this futuristic vision. But there's one big problem. Only one has actually been built so far. There are reasons why small modular reactors are not being built even though many people are talking about them. Nuclear power is back in the spotlight as the world races to find cleaner energy alternatives. SNRs could really help by doing things that big nuclear plants just can't do yet. And they might be better than renewables because they can provide constant power everywhere. But after years of decline in nuclear tech, Western countries are struggling to make this work. Meanwhile, countries like China, Russia, and India seem to be pulling ahead quickly. So do SMRs deserve all this hype? And how can we really make them happen? Big nuclear's problem. Nuclear power sparks heated debates with strong arguments both for and against it. It's a low-carbon alternative to fossil fuels that don't fluctuate like solar or wind. The IEA, which advises governments on clean energy, says nuclear must more than double by 2050 if we want any shot at reaching net zero emissions. The challenge? It's super expensive and takes ages to build. Plus, there's always the scary threat of a disaster. In the 70s and leading up to the 80s, there was high public support, says Dr. Kuvika Gupta, who researches public support for nuclear energy in the US and India. But that momentum crashed through the 80s and 90s due to incidents like Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island. We even made a video on how nuclear energy rose and fell as a tool to fight climate change. Check it out if you're curious. Nuclear power struggled after these disasters. When Fukushima happened in 2011, credibility took another massive hit. However, things seem to be looking up again now. Public support might be trickling back to pre-Fukushima levels. Support is even higher for small modular or advanced reactor technologies, says Gupta. How SMRs could work? Perhaps it's because SMRs have some flashy ads. The Westinghouse AP300 Small Modular Reactor, our VOYGR SMR power plants. There are lots of different SMRs being developed right now, but 4 main types stand out: light water, high temperature gas, liquid metal, and molten salt SMRs. Light water reactors are the most common. They're very similar to the water-cooled ones we already use today. That makes it easier to design and get approved since today's regulations are mostly based on water-cooled reactors. Dar Adamstein explains, instead of building them from scratch at each site like traditional plants. If you think of a jumbo jet built in a factory with consistent parts and quality control, it would work much like that. By making them in a factory, you can keep your specialized workforce together along with supply chains and standards intact and then just ship them where needed. These small plants wouldn't produce as much power as full-size reactors, but they take up far less space. For instance, Niscale claims their VOYGR-12 SMR would occupy just 0.13 square km, but output an equivalent amount of energy over around 18 square km of solar panels. Passive safety. A key advantage? SNRs promise safer operations through something called passive safety systems that don't rely on human operators or external power, using convection instead, like in kettles. Startup approach. Despite all this excitement though, the future depends largely on how we approach these little reactors, like regular businesses making profits or strategic assets filling gaps while phasing out fossil fuels. For now, analysts suggest Western focus hasn't worked well mainly due costly hurdles, so forming tailored applications becomes vital given smaller revenue margins per plant unit produced. Add inflation hikes impacting material prices, notably steel, see financial challenges arising frequently, hence delaying efficient progress, alas, halting promising ventures including first regulatory approved NuScale, initially planned deploying CFPP Northwestern USA, later ceased unique subscription setbacks, cost escalations being key factors affecting outcome, ultimately ending prematurely, furthermore highlighting inherent economic obstacles faced within sector itself, irrespective domestic or international market settings, aimed achieving wider reach, establishing significant industrial footprints, globally relying public fundings, supporting innovation drives, fostering collaborations aimed advancing feasible reactor technologies, sustaining scalable gains, longer-term agenda-driven objectives, underlying asset development policies, ensuring optimal utilization interests, aligned shaping cleaner, sustainable future endeavor, stakeholders partnerships broadly encouraged, envisioned collective endeavors, profound shaped positively impacting emissions, targeting reduction, achieving environmental commitments, desired overall societal welfare spanning generations, collectively tackling pressing challenges, paving pathways, realizing meaningful integrative experiences, favorable transformative shared goals indeed. What do you think about these small nuclear reactors? Let us know in the comments below, which by subscribing helps you stay updated too.